What can I say except
You're welcome.
hey, it's your day to say you're welcome.
These videos are satiric reviews. You don't have to agree, but don't bitch about it.
I hate this channel.
Hey there, I'm the SIJW Infuso, and I've covered some of wrestling's greatest romances here on this channel. I mean, I've talked about Eddie Guerrero and Chyna, made a video about Spike Dudley and Molly Holly. Hell, I've even spoke about Paul Burchill and his sister. Gross. And today, I'm here to talk about what I feel is the most definitive romance angle in all of wrestling history. I'm of course talking about the love shared between Perry Saturn and Moppy. Saturn's time with the company was short, having worked for the WWE before they got the F out, from 2000 to 2002. But to his credit, that short time there was pretty memorable, if maybe for the wrong reasons some of the time. He'd start off by debuting with his fellow WCW coworkers, Chris Benoit, Eddie Guerrero, and Dean Malenko, a team which would go on to be called the Radicals. He'd eventually find himself in a relationship with former Marlena, Terry Runnels, and chasing after and successfully gaining the WWF European Championship and the WWF Hardcore Championship. It was also during this time with the company when he was scheduled to face off against enhancement talent Mike Bell. Now, normally, such a squash match on a Z-list show wouldn't be all that worthy of a mention here, except that this match is notably where Saturn lost his shit. We've covered this previously on the channel, but just to recap the incident really quick. Saturn faces Mike Bell botches an arm drag, Saturn gets mad and proceeds to ring Mike's bell, aggressively injuring the newcomer. Now, such actions, let alone actions to a worker not officially under a WWF contract at the time, could cause some potential problems for the company. Obviously upset by this, the WWE devised the very interesting and unique punishment of making Saturn fall in love with a mop.
What?
Yes, that's right. In an effort to punish Saturn for his unprofessional actions, he was gifted the brand new gimmick of brain trauma victim. In an industry filled with concussions and continual lawsuits about said concussions, somehow it was deemed appropriate to make Perry Saturn donkey-brained. After brutal beatdowns at the hands of former rival Raven and the Acolytes, Perry began crossing his eyes, speaking in ways the kid from The Exorcist wouldn't even understand, and holding his hands out mimicking a helicopter when he was on his way to the ring. You know, I had a friend who did that once, but that was usually just because he was high. But they are actually probably at the same IQ level here. Sega Saturn would also only begin answering questions with "thank you" or "you're welcome," which kinda was a highlight for me using him in SmackDown Just Spring and Season mode. I was a very easily entertained child.
Do you want to shout out the European title? You're welcome, thank you. Seriously, just look at the response. You're welcome and thank you. This is obviously a glitch, but you're welcome. And thank you. 1 second. Sorry, I just said you're welcome.
His new mentality and odd behavior didn't sit well with his fellow Radicals, who quickly began to distance themselves from him. Well, except for Dean Malenko, who would decide to keep him around for a little bit before Dean Malenko eventually faded into obscurity. And he will be forever missed. Saturn's situation would only become more strange as that's when he began developing feelings for Moppy. Yes, Moppy, the most creative and well-thought-out character and character name since Towley from South Park. Moppy was an inanimate mop that Perry Saturn would fall in love with, cheating on Terry Runnels with a mop, which is a sentence that can be said. Wrestling. I mean, that moment's gotta be right up there with a 90-year-old woman giving birth to a full-grown human hand, which is also a sentence that could be said. People complaining about Joey Ryan should really hop back in their DeLoreans and really reflect on these angles. I mean, Moppy makes Joey Ryan look like Luthes. Anyway, an inanimate mop that Perry Saturn would fall in love and begin an affair with. I guess somewhat similar to Tom Hanks in Castaway and his relationship with that volleyball named Wilson, except Saturn was bopping the mop. Similar to Al Snow and his partnership with Head, except in this case, Perry Saturn was getting head from Head. Similar to Mankind and his friendship with Mr. Sacco, except Perry was putting his cock. You get the point. I'm just gonna leave it there. Saturn's infatuation with the Tara Reid lookalike infuriated girlfriend and other Tara Reid lookalike, Terry Runnels. Terry, feeling betrayed, would rush to Raven for comfort. Yeah, I don't know if he's necessarily who I'd go to for comfort, but that's mainly because he has the wardrobe of a hoarding hobo, and plus one time I saw him crucify a man, so that's just me. Anyway, Raven and Terry would wind up concocting a plan that would end with Moppy meeting her unfortunate demise before her time. Like so many other beloved figures in pop culture. Let me put it to you like this, alright? Kurt Cobain, Jimi Hendrix, Jim Morrison, Moppy. That's the tragedy scale for you. However, unlike Kurt Cobain, Jimi Hendrix, and Jim Morrison, Moppy died due to an incident with a wood chipper, leaving Perry Saturn and the wrestling world heartbroken.
Well, let me tell you something, brother. You're watching the social injustice warrior, Infuso's channel, dude. So if you like the words that came out of his mouth hole, and you too want to become a VTard, don't forget to like and subscribe, and click that little bell icon to get updates and notifications. Ooh, tell him what up, Macho. Ooh, yeah. Follow the man on Twitter, yeah, because we all know it's not stalking if it's on the internet, yeah. Join the madness by joining the Discord, and if you have a moment of time and a free $1 to spare, head over to the SIJW's Patreon, dig it, where you can request videos, get exclusive videos, and early access to content, yeah. Or go down to PayPal, where you can buy the shirts, brother. But most importantly, just remember, if you're not tuning in, then you're missing out.